When people look at me today, they see a Division I basketball player at the University of San Francisco. They see an athlete, maybe an entrepreneur starting his own dessert business. But what they don't see is the struggle behind the scenes, the late nights when I start staring at Canva for the first time, trying to figure out how to design a simple logo, or the times I doubted myself, wondering if I could really balance basketball, school, and the business at the same time. It isn't just about sports or desserts, it's about digital literacy. For me, digital literacy isn't just about the ability to use a computer or an app. It's how I learned how to take my ideas, like Drip and Bite, a Dubai-inspired strawberry and chocolate dessert business, and actually bring them to life using digital tools. It's how I built a bridge between being a student, an athlete, and an entrepreneur. And it's the reason, honestly, that I feel more prepared for my future than ever before. I also want to talk about some of my early struggles. I still remember the first time I opened Canva. Everybody told me it was simple, drag, drop design. But to me, it looked overwhelming. There's too many options, too many templates, and nothing I made looked like the professional graphics I saw on Instagram. At the same time, I was juggling practice, classes, and the pressure of NIL opportunities as a college athlete. I also felt like I was behind. Everybody else already seemed to know how to market themselves online. Everyone else seemed more digital. This is where my journey started, with frustration, confusion, question. Like, I was questioning myself, can I actually do this? From an athlete's perspective, I feel like being an athlete actually pushed me further into my digital literacy. NIL changed everything. Suddenly, athletes weren't just competing on the court, they were also competing online. Our Instagram pages, our TikToks, our branding, it all matters, and it all mattered. I realized that if I wanted to succeed both as an athlete and as an entrepreneur, I had to take control of my digital identity. Canva and social media weren't just for fun anymore, they were actually part of my job. They were tools to build my credibility and my ethos. And believe it or not, I'm not the only one. So a study published in the Journal of Research and Practice for College Student Retention explains that student entrepreneurship helps learners apply classroom lessons to real-world projects, building valuable skills and that they carry forward. That's exactly what I experienced. And my Drip and Bite project wasn't just an assignment. It was as a real business idea, tested through digital tools that taught me more than any textbook could. At the same time, though, digital tools are essential for modern marketing. Forbes points out that social media has become the most powerful tool for business to connect with customers and build brand loyalty. Just think about that. If businesses today can't market online, they basically don't exist, because everybody's using social media, everybody's online. For me, that meant Drip and Bite had to be Instagrammable. It had to be on social media. My Canva designs, my menus, my posts, they weren't just for decoration. They were the product. They created the buzz, basically. To wrap this up, the truth is, when I first started, I wasn't confident. I didn't know how I could design, market, or even balance it all. I see that my growth in digital literacy mirrors my growth as a student and an athlete. Digital literacy gave me the confidence to be more than one thing. I'm not just an athlete. I'm not just a student. I'm an entrepreneur, a creator, and someone who can take an idea and turn it into something real. Looking back, I can see how far I've come. At first, I felt lost, but by diving into Canva, by creating my Drip and Bite presentation, by tying my athlete life into digital branding, I grew into someone confident with digital literacy. It taught me that digital literacy is more than knowing how to click around an app. It's about communicating effectively. It's about taking an idea in your head and translating it into visuals, words, or sounds that other people understand. And it prepared me for the future. Whether I continue my basketball career or scale my business, or I also got other dreams being a businessman in the future. Digital literacy will be at the core of it all. Another area where my digital literacy grew was learning how to connect with people through social media. Making designs in Canva was one thing, but figuring out how to actually share them, on Instagram and on TikTok was another challenge for sure. I had to learn about sizing images correctly for posts and stories. I also, writing short captions that grab attention, timing posts so that more people would see them. At first, I thought social media was just about, putting something out there, but I quickly realized there was a strategy behind the whole thing. So I began paying attention to other student-run businesses, mostly on Instagram, and I was noticing how they use colors, hashtags, and even music to build a vibe. That's when it clicked for me. Digital literacy also means knowing how to communicate in spaces where attention spans are short. Canva taught me design, but social media taught me communication. Each post I created for Drip and Bite became another lesson in how digital tools could amplify my voice. So what made this experience even stronger was that I wasn't just guessing, I was researching. I read articles about digital marketing, and one in Forbes really stood out to me. It explained that social media is one of the most, if not the most powerful tool for modern businesses because it creates real connections with customers. That really made me think differently about every design and every post I created. I wasn't just throwing chocolate and strawberries on a flyer. I was building an image of something people could trust and be a part of. I also connected this to what I was learning in class. So the ERIC article I read talked about how student entrepreneurship teaches skills you can't always get from textbooks. For me, the skills weren't just about making money. They were about building confidence, problem-solving skills, and learning how to present myself in a professional way. That research validated my own journey. It reminded me that what I was doing wasn't just a side project, but a real step towards becoming the kind of entrepreneur that I wanted to be. The last piece of my story is about where digital literacy will take me next. Right now, it's helping me run a dessert business and manage my personal brand as a student athlete, but I know these skills will go far beyond that. If I decide to start another business in the future, digital tools will still be at the core of how I market, design, and organize. If I keep growing Drip and Bite, I'll need to know even more, like managing a website, running online ads, and analyzing customer feedback. I feel like it's really important. Digital literacy doesn't stop at Canva or Instagram. It's a skill that keeps evolving, and my journey taught me that you have to keep evolving with it. I used to feel like I was behind, but now I feel prepared for whatever comes next. And that's what this journey is about. Not just starting Canva or starting a dessert business, but realizing that digital literacy is the bridge between who I was and who I'm becoming. Thank you.